YouTube. I'm back once again, this time with some actual pickups. Mostly what I've got here is what I've picked up this month, although there is some from last month, although there wasn't an awful lot last month, which I guess is probably one of the reasons why I didn't do a video last month, although not the only one. But anyway, besides that, these are in maybe a little semblance of order, although they've been moved around so much I'm not so sure now. There are a few things that I don't have here to show you, either because I've put them away and not entirely sure what I've put away. I don't think there's that many, if much at all. But there are also a few things that I've purchased to sell. There's some stuff here I've purchased to sell as well, but there's other stuff that I've purchased to sell that I've already sold, or I've already stuck them on Vinted and put them away in a box with all the other stuff that's for sale on Vinted, so I know where to find them if and when they sell. But anyway, no need to go too much into that. So this first few came from charity shops. This one being Age UK, 29p. At one point, they always used to do it, well, not always, but for the longest time, Age UK had 4 for 99p, and then they went down to 29p, and then earlier this year they had DVDs and CDs up for 9p each. They've since gone back up to 29p, so they're now more expensive than they were when they were 4 for £1. Although, to be fair, they were always 29p when they were 4 for £1. Basically, if you bought 1 or 2 or 3, they were 29p each. But if you had 4, they were 99p. Anyway, Heart in Atlantis, Anthony Hopkins. Don't know anything about this movie. It is a snapper case, which is the reason why I bought it. Which is a snapper case that I don't own. So I grabbed it. I just apologise for any shoddy camera work in this video. It's been such a long time since I've filmed. I don't know what I've done with my little tripod that I normally have the phone on, which stops all of this shakiness. So yeah, for the time being, till I can get another one, this is where we are, unfortunately. So yeah, Heart in Atlantis. Also for 29p, I was shocked when I found this. This is a film I saw online a long time ago called Ink, and it absolutely blew me away. I loved it so much. There is a very, very, very rare Blu-ray edition of this, which once upon a time was available at CEX. Again, I haven't looked for a while. It might not even be on their website anymore, but I seem to remember it was still on the website, although it was never ever in stock. But I have a feeling it's something that might have discontinued just because it was never ever in stock. I don't know if this is worth anything. I did intend on going on to CEX and seeing whether it was worth anything or not, but I can't remember whether it is. But I have never come across this in, has it been 20 years? At least 15 years. I'd never come across this out in the wild, even on DVD. So I was so happy to find this because, yeah, like I say, this movie blew me away. It's a really, really low budget. I don't know. I think that's unfair to say it's a really, really low budget, but it's definitely not a studio high budget movie. I seem to remember there's no one of any notoriety of fame in it. I don't think. But even still, I really enjoyed it. And for 29p, you bet I was going to buy it. A couple of quid, more than a couple of quid, I probably still would have bought this. Yeah, I can't remember whether I said that now. It's called Ink. So happy to have found that. I'm still going to try and find that Blu-ray, but whether I ever will or not, who knows. This is a TV show that I adore, that I gave my copy away a few years ago to someone as a birthday present, and it's taken until now to get, to get it back. I do own all 4 series individually, but I just like this box set. So I'm very happy about that one. I think I paid $2.50 for this. Yeah, $2.50 in scope. Once again, we're having trouble with focusing with this phone. I don't know why, and the way I'm holding it, I don't even know if you can hear me. I'm going to try again. Yeah, so complete series 1, 2, 3 and 4 coupling. Absolutely hilarious TV show. I really love that. This I got off eBay several weeks ago now. I don't even know what I guess what I paid for this. It wasn't, compared to what I've seen it for, I want to say it was somewhere between £10 and £12. Was it auction? Was it buy now? I can't remember. It's such a long time ago. I mean, such a long time ago. It's probably middle of November. But yeah, Porky's, the Arrow release. I'm fairly sure it has a booklet inside. Yes, it does. This has been out of print for a few years now. I had the steelbook at one point, sold it when I sold all my steelbooks, or the majority of my steelbooks off. So happy to have got this back. I have, I believe, the 3rd movie on Blu-ray from 88 Films, but not the 2nd one. I don't know that the 2nd one, some might be able to confirm this or not, but I don't know that the 2nd one has a Blu-ray release, at least in the UK, very possibly in the States. But yeah, funny film. This I ordered back in November. In stock, it was showing as most Amazon purchases with Prime next day delivery. I bought this with a couple of other things that I was buying as a birthday present for somebody, and because I was working, I decided to have them delivered to the Amazon locker nearby. And I don't know what happened with that purchase, but those 2 items were sent out separately on different days, so it wouldn't have mattered going to the locker. They would have come through my letterbox individually, but all of a sudden this was out of stock, and it took until last week to get here, and that also went to the Amazon locker, and it never occurred to me that I could probably change the shipping address to home for this, but I didn't, and I never even thought about it. So again, I had to go out to the Amazon locker and get this. I've since found out that this is the only season of this show on Blu-ray in the UK. MacGyver, again, I don't think I mentioned that. I love this show. Growing up in the 80s, or at least that's when it started in the 80s, but I probably went through into the 90s. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I don't think I've seen an episode since then. So series 1 or season 1 on Blu-ray, but like I say, according to Blu-ray.com, this is the only season of this show on Blu-ray in the UK, and it came out 5 or 6 years ago. Are they ever going to release the rest? I doubt it. Probably available in the US though, or some of them maybe. This I pre-ordered. One of the very few things I bought brand new this last year. 23 Seconds to Eternity, the KLF movie. When I saw this was coming out, I just had to order it. It is open. I've just sliced it at the bottom, so it's still. I was intending on just taking the stickers off and re-sticking them on the underneath. In the end, I just decided to keep the cellophane over the whole thing, and so I can just take the box, the case out the bottom to watch it. I did start to watch this, but it was late one night after work and I fell asleep, so I need to start again or continue it at very least. These 4 came from Vinted. They were up at £2 a piece, I think. But once you add, well, I got a discount. I think I got 10 or 15% discount for a multi-buy, and then with postage and fees it came to £9 something for all 4, so less than £2.50 each. They're all 3D movies, they're all brand new. So we've got gosh, I can't speak today. Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. It's been the 2nd movie, right? I have the first one on Blu-ray 3D, so it was I've been looking out for this with a slipcover and found it. So yeah, like I say, less than £2.50. Dumbo, I don't know why I purchased this. If I'm perfectly honest, it was a 3D movie they didn't have. I don't know if I have any interest in actually watching this movie, to be totally honest. But I guess it is what it is. I bought it, so maybe I'll watch it at some point. Toy Story. So happy to have found this in 3D with the slipcover. All of these have got the slipcover, but it's the numbered. I don't have a complete set of these on just the standard Blu-ray versions, but I think I have all but the last 2 or 3 that have been released. The 3D numbered editions, I don't think they've released every single one of these Pixar movies in 3D, so there are probably quite a few missing in the set, even though they're probably, I say probably, I'm sure they carry the same spine numbers as their non-3D editions. Toy Story 2 as well, 3D release. So yeah, I'm really chuffed to have got those. Unfortunately, the seller didn't have Toy Story 3 or 4 3D editions, so I'm still looking out for those. Moving on, what have we got next? Yeah, so up next, Salvation Army in Middlesbrough. I had a trip to Middlesbrough. I think that day I got more than I bought probably the entire month. That's probably is fair. But most of it was for reselling. I think the only thing I bought, well, no, it wasn't the only thing, but it turns out one of the others I do already own. But this is the only thing I've got that I'm actually keeping. I spotted this. I don't know how I spotted this. I probably saw the title and thought that doesn't look like a CD. Romeo and Juliet on video CD. The only problem was, once I spotted this, I had to go through all the CDs to make sure there weren't any more video CDs. There weren't. 5 for £1 they were doing their DVDs and CDs for. Once I spotted this, I now had to find 4 more. So the rest of these are bought for, actually this one I'll probably watch before I sell it. So we've got some Poirot from the Poirot collection. This one being Halloween Party. This was a show that when it was on back in the 90s and early 2000s, I guess, I had no interest in. But pretty much now every week or every weekend when I go to my mum's on a Sunday, there's one of these on the telly, and I kind of get sucked into them, even though most of them have already started or partly way through, and I never get to see the end. So I am quite intrigued with this show now. I was actually looking on CX to see if there was a box set, and there is, but it's about is it 40 quid or is it more? It's expensive, and I do have the vouchers to get it, but there are other things I want to spend that kind of money on. But yeah, I will watch that before it goes. I think the rest of these might be sealed, or most of them are sealed. Bear in mind these are all 20 pence each. Pokemon, what does that say? Destiny Deoxys, I don't know what that is. But yeah, bought just to sell it, brand new, sealed. I should get £1 for it, or maybe even put it in a bundle at some point. Postman Pat, again, brand new, sealed, got it to sell. Tooth Fairy 2. In fairness, I might actually keep this. I haven't seen either of these movies. The Rock's always entertaining. The other guy, I don't really know. I've heard the name many times before. I don't think I've ever seen Larry the Cable Guy in anything that's of any note that I can remember. But yeah, 20p. And then this, how much was this? This was £1. Garfield 3 movie set, brand new, sealed. Again, this will go up on Vinted for sale. It hasn't as yet. Yeah, so I paid £1 for that. Hopefully I'll make something, even if I only make a couple of quid on it. Oh, and I also bought this thinking I didn't own it. This came from Scope as well, with coupling. So this was £1. Wildlife 3D on Blu-ray. Yeah, I thought for some reason it wasn't on my list on my app, so I assumed that I didn't own it. But when I got home and looked, it's right there. So I do own it, so that'll be going up on Vinted for sale as well. I don't know what I'll put on that. If I get my money back, I'll probably be happy. Then this next lot came from CEX. Some more 3D Blu-rays. The Jungle Book. I think all of these have got slip covers. One of them didn't come with a slip cover, but I got it because I already own the slip cover. Yeah, the Jungle Book, the remake, what they call a live action version, but to be fair, I think all but the young Mowgli is all CGI from what I can gather, from what I've seen in trailers and stuff like that. Justin 3D, don't know anything about this one other than what I can see in the picture. What was that? It was £1. Transformers Dark of the Moon. Like I say, I already had the slipcover, so for £2 I grabbed that. Since I've got that, I've been looking for this for such a long time. Occasionally they come up on eBay, well, more than occasionally, but once you factor in postage and all that, you're looking at almost a £5. So eventually come across one in CEX. A couple of quid, I was happy with that. Since then, a couple have appeared on Vinted at £1 a piece. Now, even at £1 a piece, you're still going to pay best part of £4 with postage and costs. But if I could add it to a bundle with something else, it would be worth it, or it would have been worth it. But not to worry. Next up, I had the first one in 3D. I didn't have this one. I still haven't even seen this one. Alice Through the Looking Glass. This was, I think, the most expensive of the three at £4. I enjoyed the first movie. I really enjoyed the first movie, actually. I don't know anything about this one. I don't know whether it got good or bad reviews. But yeah, I'll probably rewatch the first one because it's been quite a few years. Might even be nearly a decade, actually, since I've seen that. And I don't believe I've seen it in 3D, to be fair. So yeah, I'll probably rewatch that one. This one caught my eye because, one, I used to love the show, and two, it's a network. By the way, I paid for all of this from CX with vouchers, so there was no actually any out of pocket expense. other than what the money I spent to buy the stuff to trade in for vouchers. So we've got Space 1999. I don't know what this is. I'm guessing it's an episode or collection of episodes, very similar to what Network did with the New Avengers. Was it the New Avengers or just the Avengers? I think there was 2 episodes from the Avengers and 1 episode from the New Avengers. So it might be similar to that. But I remember watching this as a kid and really enjoying it. I believe the entire series is available on Blu-ray as well from Network. Again, that'll be out of print now that they're no longer with us, no longer trading. So that might be expensive. But again, £4. It was vouchers. This one I kind of splurged on, and I regret it, even though it was on vouchers. House on the Edge of the Park. I'd been looking on 88 Films website just a day or 2 before this, and both the 4K and the Blu-ray of this was out of print. Well, not out of print, but out of stock. And I now know why. I got the 4K just because it has the Blu-ray as well as the 4K. If I had the Blu-ray, I'd have probably got that. I think the Blu-ray was only about £3 cheaper at the time. This has gone down now, but shortly after I bought this, 88 Films announced that they were doing a disc replacement for this set because there's something wrong with the original discs. I don't know what. This has also since gone down to £12 on CEX. I don't know what the problem is with these discs, but it is an Italian collection, one that I didn't have. I did have the thought that maybe going forward I would start getting the 4Ks rather than just the Blu-rays if they came with the Blu-ray in. Oh, God, I almost lost it. If they came with the Blu-ray in the box. There's art cards, 2 discs. Is it art cards or is it a booklet? Looks like it's a booklet. So yeah, I don't know, like I say, what the problem is with the original discs. I'll probably have to look into that. And you have to have some kind of receipt to get replacement. I mean, if you bought it from them directly, they will just send you the replacement discs, but if you bought it elsewhere, you've got to produce a receipt, and I'm very certain that if I produce a CEX receipt, they're going to say, no, sorry, you need to have bought it new somewhere. I don't know that for certain, but I imagine that's where they'll go. Yeah, but so that's what I was going to check, wasn't it? Yeah, so I just flipped over the artwork. That's pretty boring artwork, actually. But it is spine number 78 from 1980. And finally from CEX, we're out of focus again. The Kingsman, The Golden Circle on 4K. Again, another one that I would have bought on Blu-ray. I've been looking for this on Blu-ray with a slipcover for ever, basically. I've got the first movie. I've got 2 different editions of the first movie with the slipcover, but finding this on Blu-ray and CEX with a slipcover seems to have been, for me at least, very difficult. And then I spotted this for £3. I had a quick look on CEX's app. They sell the Blu-ray for £2.50. So I thought, you know what, it's an extra 50p. I'm still getting the Blu-ray. I'll get the 4K as well. So yeah, that's what I did. Really pleased about that. Then these last few all came from a new cash converters that I found in Thornaby a few weeks ago. It had been open a week at that point. And actually these came over 2 trips. I bought most of them the first trip, and then I think I bought a couple of them the second trip. I can't remember which ones I got on the first. I think the top 3 came on the first trip. So I got Dunkirk, saw this movie, I loved it. I managed to get hold of a digital copy a while ago now. So I've had the digital copy for quite some time. I only watched it earlier on this year. Really, really loved it. Yeah, knew that was going to happen. It was £1. All of these Blu-rays were £1. There is a DVD as well. It's a 2-disc edition, which I didn't realise. There is a digital copy in there. I suspect it's probably expired. It may have even been redeemed. I don't need it because, like I say, I've already got it. So if that's of any use to anyone and it will come into focus, give it a try. Let me know if it works or not. Be much appreciated just to know. But yeah, love that film. So happy to finally own a physical copy. This I've been looking for again forever. It comes up on eBay very occasionally, and it's always more expensive than I want to pay. I own it already. Justice Society World War II. What I didn't own was the slipcover, and it seems to be almost impossible to find, and especially at this price with the slipcover. It was again £1. I almost fainted when I saw this on the shelf. I thought, oh, it's going to be really expensive, and yeah, it wasn't. It was £1. It's part of that set, as you can see. Justice Society is the only one I don't have with a slipcover. I don't have a full set. I'm still looking for the Superman, ironically the same movie that I got for Christmas, with the minifigure Superman. What's it called? It's just behind me. If I can reach for it without knocking everything down. That one, Superman Day of Tomorrow. So there is a version of this movie for this collection with the spine art. I know for certain that what's in here won't have a slipcover. It'll just be the standard edition Blu-ray inside. So this is one again I will be doubling up on just to get the set. And I say the set, bear with me a second. Yeah, so Superman Day of Tomorrow would be the first release in this set. I have 5 others. It starts, by the look of it, to spell out DC, and is that a U? So could it be DC Universe? I'm not 100% sure. But if it is Universe, there's going to be a whole lot more in this collection to make up that that logo. I don't know of any more other than that Superman one that I'm missing in this collection. I've never seen any more available for sale. That's not to say I'm out every week looking. I'm not. It's probably actually been a year. In fact, it's more than a year. It was Black Friday 2022, so Black Friday last year, that I think I got Green Lantern, and that was the last time I had really looked properly. I've been in HMV a couple of times since then, but never had I've had a glance on, in my local HMV, they're not on the shelf like that, so you can't see the spines. They're all on a rack facing forward, and then the next one's behind, and each one's slightly higher than the one behind, so I would have to start getting them all off to check the spines. But I do occasionally take a look and see if there's any that I can see. I haven't seen any more releases in this collection. Maybe Warner Brothers have abandoned. Is it Warner Brothers? I'm assuming it's a Warner Brothers with it being DC. I mean, they're not actually labelled up as Warner Brothers, so maybe it is just DC, but I thought Warner Brothers had the rights to DC. Anyway, regardless of that, yeah, I don't know of any more of these for this collection that are available. If anyone's got any insight into that I don't know about, yeah, please let me know. So this is me from the future here for a moment. I spotted this while I was out in HMV, Justice League, Warworld. I've not seen this one before. It came out in August, so it hasn't been out that long. A couple of things. This is in a slim case. Like I mentioned in the previous video, slim cases are great for storage, but when you've got halfway through collection and all the others are in standard Amaray cases, a slim case is a bit annoying. It also originally came with a slipcover. This one obviously doesn't have the slipcover, but yeah, there is a slipcover available, so I'll have to look out for that one. But yeah, this is another one that I'll have to add to the collection. But at least it gives me a little bit of confidence that DC are still adding to this set. It's a shame that they're not numbered, so I would know if this is the next one in the collection or if there are others that are missing that I haven't found yet. So, moving on. So just as the third movie is, in fact, it's after the third movie been out in the cinema, I get hold of Equalizer 2. Again, this one was £1. Why will this phone not focus? It's annoying. Yeah, Equalizer 2. Still haven't seen the first one. Comes with a slipcover, and once again, the third movie is now out on Blu-ray. I don't think was released with a slipcover. So the first two movies came with a slipcover. Third movie, and I know it's a really stupid thing to hark on about, but it really annoys me when companies do this. Yeah, so I don't think the third movie, at least here in the UK, has a slipcover, and that annoys me. No Escape. Don't really know anything about this. No, it was £1. And The Take. Idris Elba again. It's £1. This one's still factory sealed. And then finally, and I had forgotten about this, and I could have watched it over Christmas. I guess Christmas is still sort of here. Worst Christmas of my life. So the Christmas edition of the TV show, The Worst Week of My Life. The first series of this was awesome, absolutely hilarious. The second series kind of fell flat for me. It was nowhere near as funny. Whether they did change different writers or just weren't very good the second time around, I don't know. I don't ever remember seeing the Christmas special, and this is probably something I may actually put on today because we're at the 28th now, so it's Christmas is kind of past. Kind of, I guess. People have still got the Christmas decorations up and Christmassy things are still going on ish. So yeah, I'll probably watch this. If not, I'll end up leaving it till next year. But yeah, that was 50p. I know I have the first series on DVD. Do I have the second? I'm not sure. That's something I'll have to look into, because if I haven't, that's maybe something I'll, even though it's not as good, I'll probably just have to get for completion's sake. Right, so there we go. November and December, mostly December. Not much of that was in November, but a little bit was. Anyway, thanks once again for watching. This isn't the end of December, even though it's kind of the end of December. Did I mention in this video? Did I mention in the previous video? I've literally recorded them back to back. I can't remember. My intention today was to go out to Darlington. I think it was the last video. My intention today was to go out to Darlington because I've got some stuff to trade in, CX, and I've got some CX vouchers, and there's a few things in there I actually want to buy. It's absolutely tipping it down outside, and it's Darlington specific because, like I say, there's stuff in CX I want to buy, but there's also a bunch of charity shops there. There's a cash generators or cash converters. I think it's cash converters. There might even be both. And there was Renew, although I vaguely recall last time I was there, it might have already closed. Poundland isn't even worth looking into these days. I want to say there's something else, but for the life of me, oh yeah, there's 2 independent video game shops. In fact, one of them isn't even a video game shop. One's just there's a video game shop that sells DVDs, Blu-rays as well. Just across from that, there's a shop that's more, I guess it's more vinyl than video games, although they do have video games, but they also have a lot of Blu-rays and DVDs as well. So there's those 2 independent stores to look at as well. I think the weather, although going to be windy, it's going to be dry tomorrow, so I'll probably do that tomorrow. You know, I'm totally lost for days today, but regardless of that, yeah, I'll probably do that tomorrow. I don't even know what time it is. It's after lunch because I'm absolutely starving. And I think I sat down here at nearly 12 o'clock and I've been recording nearly 2 hours. The first video I did, my Christmas things, I probably started that about 5 times and had to go back and start again. And I've stopped and started both videos a lot for various reasons. But anyway, I'm waffling on, so I will say goodbye once again. Thank you very much for watching. Depending on what I find tomorrow, assuming I go out tomorrow, may well get another video in before the end of the year, hopefully. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, thanks. I'll see you later. Ciao.